Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host Brian. This is the BrianTMurray YouTube channel. So you see the thumbnail, you see the uh, title. I, in particular, could care less about what's going on with Zion Williamson in particular. I can care less. Yes, he has been roasted online throughout the week, and I just don't care because this happens all the time, all the time. But it's more prominent among our young black athlete celebrity men. It's more prominent. Zion Williamson only played about 25 games this year. It's always a red flag to me to see an athlete who is not working. Your job is to play basketball. If you're a professional basketball player, by definition, your job is to play basketball. So when you're not playing basketball, yet, of course, you still get paid. Excuse me. So, you're still going to the fancy restaurants, parties, everything. So your image is still out there socially, but your utility isn't as there. People are reluctant to buy Zion tennis shoes because it's like, why would I pay to get tennis shoes for a guy who is actually caring and not playing? It's less motivation for that to happen. Zion Williamson is being managed by his stepfather, from my understanding, similar to Uncle Dennis to Kawhi Leonard. So he's being managed by his stepfather. There is a situation going on with New Orleans where they are essentially trying to force themselves out of New Orleans. I, for one, said that New Orleans should not extend Zion Williamson. If he's not playing before he gets the big paycheck, he's not going to play after. You got to let people show them who they are. You have to let people show you who they are. You have to let them. You have to let them and believe them. I remember when David Griffin said it's a no-brainer to sign Zion. I was like, no, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. No, it's not a no-brainer. No. He isn't playing. So you give him all this money and he plays 25 games, and then a player can sit out because they don't feel right. Zion Williamson, he has the Pelicans medical team. He has his own medical team. Both sides have cleared him. But he says, I don't feel right. I don't know what that means. It's like we can't quantify what that means. The average American has to go to work even if they have a limb missing. That's an exaggeration, but to make my point. The modern day athlete, I'm just essentially done with. After the whole Ben Simmons and James Harden forced his way out of Brooklyn for a second time, he forced himself out off of a team. Done. And I've done a video on that. I'm just done. I'm just done. So you are a mega rich, somewhat handsome, uh, uh, in shape, relatively speaking, man, unmarried. Every woman, just about on the face of the planet, is in your DMs, and you are in theirs. And this is what happens. Uh, Wherever they go, men go, their penis go with them. Wherever they go, their penis go with them. It's a man's sexuality is who he is. A man get turned on like a light switch. A woman gets turned on like a volume knob. Tick, 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 tick. That's a woman. A man, light switch. I cannot tell you how many times I have read the Bible and got aroused 30 seconds later. And what I'm thinking about ain't nothing to do with what I just read. But yet we try to shame and suppress that in men. No, that's who you are. Embrace it. That's who you are. Be free. That's who you are. You can praise the Lord one moment and be ready to masturbate in the next moment. That's who you are. God made you that way. Listen to what I'm saying. God made you that way. God has created the man to be the sower of seed. Whatever the seed is, it could be sperm, it could be money, it could be advice, it could be wisdom, it could be acts of service, it could be whatever it is. That's how a man is. A woman has no idea. I don't care if she had sex with 30 dudes by the time she was 19. A woman has no idea what a man is. She has no idea. And she does not care. She does not care. She thinks the men that she slept with is how all men are. And we're not. We're not. I'm an average guy. I'm so average. I'm so invisible in my day-to-day life. So invisible. Zion Williamson has been famous ever since he was 16. He has not had an invisible day in the last 8 years. Even when he plays 25 of games a year. Zion Williamson has already gotten 2 coaches fired. I'm not saying he specifically have gotten them fired. Alvin Gentry and Stan Van Gundy. He has gotten them, his situation, his leverage have gotten them fired. 2 accomplished, awesome coaches gotten them fired. New Orleans is already on their 3rd coach since Zion Williamson has been drafted. 3rd coach. And they got into the play-in again this year. Okay, last year they made the playoffs. They made some noise. The Pelicans without Zion, and Zion is he's on the bench like, yeah, just okay, yeah. The following year happened, nothing happened. You played 25 games, and your stepfather held you up. His basketball skills may not work, but his penis still does. Every night, you're still eating, you're still hanging out, you're still partying. Girls everywhere. Now, I don't know who this young lady is. Akeem, I believe I saw she is some kind of Instagram model. Okay. So he is in between a Instagram model and a porn star. The porn star is upset with him because he announced he got his girlfriend, the the Instagram model, pregnant. The porn star outed Zion Williamson. Her tweet says, we have it right here. I deleted the video of the photographer pouring honey in my mouth because you told me you felt disrespected. She has a point. She has a point. Men are by nature territorial. That is a masculine trait. Territorial. Okay? A woman is absolutely insane if she thinks she's going to keep 100% of Zion Williamson all to herself. He can't even give 100% to the New Orleans Pelicans, and they're paying him $200 million. You cannot keep a man on any level 100% to yourself. It won't ever happen. It has never happened. It won't ever happen. No, it won't. It won't. So she's upset because like side pieces do, they know you have a main girl, but they're offended because you got her pregnant. They're offended. He was territorial with Mariah Mills because according to this post, she took the video of the photographer pouring honey in her mouth down because you felt disrespected. So her tweet later says, and tweets, Snapchat, what post, and come and Twitter to see you trending with a thought as if she's not. A thought pregnant, and you kiss that hoe. and you kiss that hoe because obviously it is standards. That look. I've been saying this the last 3 years. There's rules to cheating. There are rules to cheating. There are rules to cheating. The biggest cheater I know personally have broken every single rule, and nothing good has ever come from it. Why you hurt me like this? Why did this to your, I don't know. But that is essentially what is going on. If you look closely, you'll see it in the thumbnail. But that's where we are. This video is not about Zion Williamson. This video is about, in particular, young Black men who have zero dick discipline. Zero dick discipline. Well, why are you making this about young? It's because they still have a chance to change. It ain't nothing worse than an old man that got 3, 4, 5 families acting like he got one. There's nothing worse. There's absolutely nothing worse. I remember when Pastor Hennett mentioned to me almost 20 years ago something that Apostle Fred Price said. He said, if your ministry, talking to preachers, he said, if your ministry has a private jet, that private jet is not for you to fly around the country to visit all your other families. That's you having a privilege of having a personal jet is not for you to extend your ratchet lifestyle. Because let me tell you, as we see in the life of David, it never stops. It never stops. Because we have this little thing called consequences that never stop. You may have forgotten, but the things and the people you put in motion have not. It never stops. Because What I'm trying to explain to you is it becomes generational. Consequences. Consequences. This is such a bad look, and I applaud Stephen A. Smith. I mean, he isn't the one to do a person's personal life, but this is egregious. This is egregious. You can't go to work, you can't play, but you're getting multiple chicks pregnant because Mariah Mills, her point to Zion is, I better not be pregnant. Look, men have zero reproductive rights as is. And your goofy ass is worth $200 million. What do you think is going to happen? Because chicks don't go to civil court. They go to the court of public opinion. Yes. And destroy your value in the public eye. And then they go to court. But this is not just about Zion. This is about the high school football player that got 3 girlfriends. And he only got 3 girlfriends because he's a star high school football player. Look, we know you ain't masturbating staying to yourself. Look, sex is overrated. Sex is overrated. Zion Williamson got the money, and he is about to get cashed out. Now look at your dumbass, and you have no money, and you are about to get cashed out. Because if children come before money come, you don't ever shake that. You don't ever shake that. Yes, our baby boomer parents has raised us and prepared us for traditional wives. They have prepared us for that. But let me tell you, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. You have feminism to thank for that. These modern day women out here, they have monetized everything, even their smile. They have monetized their smile. I saw a video maybe a year ago. It was about a young single mother who had her young daughter in kindergarten. So she's having the conversation with her daughter who is in kindergarten. She asked her daughter, what happens during class? Blah, 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 same old. So they started to talk about break time. She says, okay, so what happens during break time? Her daughter explains to her the best way she can. It's like, sometimes we have, cookies, we have like snacks, we have toys, whatever. Her mother's like, okay. So does a boy come up to you and want to play with one of your toys or want one of your cookies or whatever? The daughter says yes. And then her mother begins to instruct her kindergarten daughter, do not give him any cookies or any toys or anything unless he does something for you first. Unless he does something for you first. Let me tell you, I'm telling that story to let you know that the people take on the personality of the country. America is the most capitalistic country in the entire world, by far. By far. There are others, but America is out in front by far. It's in the fabric of the country. It's in the fabric of the country. Everything, everyone is monetized. They tell women this whole lie about love and finding the right one and all this nonsense, blah blah blah. uh, there's always one for someone. Number one, that's not true. That's not true. When your grandparents got together, who was the one? Notice how your grandparents and your great grandparents had a different philosophy of building a family and building a community than we do. We sound goofy as hell talking about love. It's like, yo, that's not love. Love is something that comes later. You have got to make the business decision. You have got to make the business decision. Because if these modern day women are waiting until they fall in love to move on and pair bond or whatever, that means when the love stops, there's seasons where love do stop. When the love stop, that means they're gone. Finances or the love or both, whichever happens first, they're leaving because of that. We have done a poor job raising our girls, raising our women, and they sound so fraudulent. I'm on my Howard Facebook now, talking to a 40-year-old woman, talking about the traumas we face. I say, look, the only trauma y'all don't consider the trauma that y'all create because y'all leave marriages and relationships at an 80% rate. You always thinking about what happens to you, but never thinking about what you do to other people. Now, as I was alerted about the Zion Williamson situation, there is a third girl involved. I think I've seen. I don't know exactly who it is. I'm seeing a picture of a third young lady. Same look, curvy body, assets all out. It's like, dog, you are connecting your life to these chicks. You think it's just sex. Oh no. These chicks are never going away. As long as you got money and can work, they are never going away. They are never going away. And since athletes listen to other athletes and they do the same thing, athletes understand women are hypergamous. Hypergamy doesn't always deal with money. It can deal with hypergamy just simply means desiring after greater. That is a gene put into all of our women. It does not matter if you're rich or you're the captain of the football team. She desires greater. She desires greater than her. That's fine. God put that thing in her. That is totally okay. I don't have a problem at all. But men, you gotta adjust. You are the one having sex with all these girls as if there won't be any repercussions. There will be. There are consequences for her and there are consequences for you. This is how you start. Zion is like, what, 22, 23? He's starting his life out this way. He's starting his life out this way. What you do in 15 minutes, 15 seconds, can last you 15 years. I have not seen Mariah Mills in like 2-3 years. Now she's on the front page of everything. I'm sure her porn streams have just skyrocketed. Guys, you have got to stop having sex. If you are unmarried, stop having sex. I know what I'm saying is foreign, but you have got to stop doing this because you're putting your future at risk. You are putting your future at risk. These chicks are not going away. If you have money, they are staying on you like skin on bones. Okay, they're not getting. Zion Williamson's get this. It's crazy, man. This is absolutely crazy. So yeah, I'm not trying to say too much about this because it's the same thing all the time. It's and guys keep falling for it. It's like you do you Zion, you're an average looking dude. Do you think if you were working at Foot Locker, you would get these types of chicks? So the answer is no. So I need you to move a lot differently. Now you are on the hook. Even if Mariah Mills is not pregnant, she's going to find a way to end up pregnant. Yeah, and she's coming after you because whoever whoever else she's having sex with is not worth $200 million. Yeah, I'm gonna stop off this nonsense now, man. Guys, give yourself a chance. Please give yourself a chance. See, you're only hurting yourself by doing this. You're only hurting yourself by doing this. Give yourself a chance. Stop having sex with these hoes, man. Please. Please. And old guys, stop marrying chicks that you cheated with. Jesus Christ.